Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for taking time out to watch the videos. I always appreciate the support. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and discuss in this video today. So before we get into it, be sure to hit the like button to help the video out and show your support. And if you are new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. The first topic we're covering has to do with Gran Turismo 7. We've been talking a lot about Horizon Forbidden West, and we will continue to do so because we're just, at this point, a few days away from it officially launching, but not too long after that, we know that Gran Turismo 7 will be launching. And so this is reading from PlayStation Universe, where it says Polyphony Digital has revealed that Gran Turismo Sport players will have their driver rating and sportsmanship rating transferred to the upcoming Gran Turismo 7 from February 15th, 2022. Details were posted on the official Gran Turismo website, and this is what they said. Your driver rating, or DR for short, and sportsman rating, SR for short status, of February 15th will be transferred to the new game. In some cases, there may be some delay to the start date of these transfers. These transferred ratings will be applied upon the release of Gran Turismo 7. These transferred ratings will also be applied to the test season and online championship plan after the release of Gran Turismo 7. And again, for those who aren't aware, GT7 is launching on March 4th. So I wanted to be sure to let everybody know about this. Those of you who are excited for Gran Turismo 7, if you weren't aware, you will be able to transfer this over to the new game. And I think that for those who are really into Gran Turismo, this is going to be a pretty big deal, and I'm sure they're going to be happy to know this. The next topic we're discussing has to do with a pretty significant update that SIFU is going to be receiving in the not too distant future. This is once again reading from PlayStation Universe, where they say just 3 short days after its full release, SIFU developers Slowclap have announced through Steve Saylor that the game will be getting an accessibility update. What this means is that players can expect difficulty modes, both easier and more difficult, a high contrast mode for PS5 and PS4, and better captions. After the contention around SIFU's difficulty, it will be interesting to see how both sides of the new modes play, the easier and the more difficult mode. I wanted to be sure to let everybody know about this because I've been playing a lot of SIFU this past week, and there's no doubt it is a very, very difficult game, and it certainly requires a significant amount of patience. And I've come to realize, just like with Returnal, there are going to be some people who are just simply not going to be able to complete this game. They're not going to be able to overcome the difficulty, and there's always a conversation happening as to whether or not developers should make their games more accessible, whether or not they should always have difficulty modes. And I'm of the mindset that I think the developers should do what they want to do for their game. We see with Returnal, they never implemented any type of difficulty option, even though there were clearly people who were struggling, and they said that, look, this is the game we wanted to make, this is the experience we want, and we want to just keep it this way. And I think that's totally fine. But I also think it's totally fine if a developer decides to come out and say, you know what, we do want to add a easy mode and an even harder mode for those who, as of right now, just find SIFU too easy, which, believe it or not, there are those individuals out there. And I don't have a problem with that either. I mean, if anything, it means that more people will be able to, maybe come back to the game and complete it, right? So I don't see any downside to that. But at the same time, I understand why some developers just decide, you know what, this is the game we made, this is how we want to keep it. So yeah, there you go. That's the big update we'll be getting for SIFU. As of right now, we don't have a release date for this update, but I assume it will be coming in the next few weeks. That's my assumption. I will be sure to keep you guys updated. Moving on from that, we have a release date for a pretty highly anticipated indie title that is a PlayStation console exclusive, that being Salt and Sacrifice. It was revealed recently that Salt and Sacrifice will be releasing on both PS5 and PS4 on May 10th. And again, this is a game that a lot of people are looking forward to. It says here that Salt and Sacrifice is the sequel to developer Ska Studios' previous release, Salt and Sanctuary. For those who haven't played the first, the easiest way to describe it is to say it's 2D Dark Souls. Granted, you could probably say that about plenty of games, but Salt and Sanctuary and now its sequel, Salt and Sacrifice, are both, of course, much more than that. Today's announcement took a look into Salt and Sacrifice's PvP and co-op modes while also announcing the release date. So there you go. I just wanted to be sure to let everybody know about this. The next topic we're discussing is something pretty random, but I also think pretty interesting. It was revealed by Jeff Ross that apparently Sony Bend when they found out that they weren't going to be able to make a sequel to Days Gone, wanted to make an Uncharted game that focused on a young Sully. So this is reading from VGC, where they say, speaking on the Sacred Symbols Plus show, the director discussed how following Sony's decision not to greenlight a sequel to Days Gone, the team started theorizing games with other Sony IP, including Uncharted. Victor Sullivan, at the age of 25, in a very stylized world where it would be around 1976, I think is where we figured out his age might be, Ross revealed when pressed on his plan for the series. He busted out of the Navy for reasons, and I thought seeing him young and trying to figure out his way in this world, going from trying to be a soldier or, a military man to now I'm just out on the streets and I'm going to become a hustler. Ross went on to reveal that in his concept, Sully would evoke James Bond icon Sean Connery, and he says that a young Victor Sullivan to him would have been like Sean Connery. He also mentioned that films such as Joker and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's portrayal of the 70s influenced the idea. That's what I wanted to do without leaning into the cheesy parts of the 70s, he said. Ross noted that some stumbles with this concept included that they didn't feel there would have been as many opportunities for shootouts. He also mentioned that he didn't want to make the first Uncharted game where the player didn't shoot anybody. So I wanted to just run this by you guys because I thought that this was some pretty interesting insight into, what Days Gone developer Sony Bend was kind of playing around with when they found out they weren't going to be able to make a sequel to Days Gone. Honestly, I think that this would have been really cool. I would have loved to see something like this, and I think a lot of Uncharted fans would have liked to see some type of prequel that focuses on a young Sully. I mean, I'm sure they could have figured out how they could have incorporated more shootouts, but yeah, that sounds like a very interesting concept to me, but unfortunately, it's not something, as far as we know, that's happening, but still some interesting insight from Jeff Ross. But speaking of Uncharted, apparently the Uncharted movie director has come out to reveal that he is working on a Jak and Daxter movie. So in a recent interview, Uncharted movie director Ruben Fleischer, I guess is how you say his name, revealed he is working with PlayStation on a Jak and Daxter movie adaptation. While neither the director nor Sony has confirmed the movie's production, he does reveal that he's currently in discussions with Sony. Now, this comes immediately after Tom Holland essentially expressed his interest in starring in a Jak and Daxter film adaptation. He talked about how he would want it to be produced under A24, which is an indie label, and to really make it dark and gritty and something that is just, maybe unexpected. And this is pretty random to me. I really don't know how a Jak and Daxter film would go down. I mean, I think that there are people who would certainly be interested in it just out of morbid curiosity, but now we're hearing Tom Holland saying he wants to star in it. We kind of joked around about how after Uncharted, Tom Holland's going to star in pretty much every PlayStation movie. He's going to be Jin Sakai in Ghost of Tsushima. He's eventually going to be Kratos in an upcoming God of War movie whenever that happens. But you know what? It is starting to seem like this could be a reality where we do see Tom Holland possibly starring in a Jak and Daxter movie. Just wanted to be sure to run this by you guys. You can let me know what you would think about that. But we're moving on to the next topic, which focuses from individuals who claim to have knowledge about what's going on with the development of this game, that right now they are striving for a September release date. But on top of that, we have some new details regarding the gameplay. This is reading from WCCF Tech, where it says Hogwarts Legacy will feature multiple regions and towns, as well as enemy camps and dungeons, according to a new rumor. In a new video shared on YouTube by Retro Raconteur, reported that he has recently been contacted by multiple sources revealing some new details on the upcoming open world game developed by Avalanche Software. Apparently, the game's level design has been heavily inspired by Zelda Breath of the Wild, Ghost of Tsushima, and The Last of Us Part 2, and its open world will feature multiple regions and towns with unique NPCs that will make them feel alive. One of the core Hogwarts Legacy mechanics will be enemy camps, and the game will also feature multiple dungeons to explore. Combat, stealth, and exploration will also be a big part of the game. As for every rumor, we have to take this with a grain of salt, but the YouTuber claims that he has seen photo evidence supporting this information, so there may be some truth to what he's saying, but we do have to keep our expectations in check when it comes to leaks and rumors and whatnot. But, this does sound very plausible to me. We know that there are a lot of expectations for Hogwarts Legacy. We know that people are looking at this game and they feel really good about it. So it looks good, right, based off of what we've seen so far, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's true that a lot of this game has been influenced by titles like Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us 2 and Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it just sounds like it's going to be, I think, maybe like the dream Harry Potter type game that people have, been waiting for and always hoped for. And so, here's hoping once again that we will learn more about this officially soon. It feels like, it's about that time. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, leave it a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.